Hello, my name is Micah. Welcome to Demographia, and this is part two of a collaboration I am doing with my good friend, the Best of Hockey. So, if you haven't subscribed to the Best of Hockey, what are you waiting for? Go to the Best of Hockey, subscribe. And if you want to see part one, then you have to go to his channel because if you don't see part one, you won't really understand what's going on here in part two. So, have you watched part one? Well, good, because this is part two of the demographics of the NHL. So, I will first be talking about race in the NHL. So, 92% of people in the NHL are Europeans. And when I mean Europeans, I mean the European race, not necessarily just from Europe. So, I'm not going to name some notable European players because there's so many of them that it would take too long. Then Africans, once again, African race here, make up 3%. 2% are Hispanic, and 3% are from other races. Now, I know Hispanic isn't a race, and one day, I promise, I will make a video about why Hispanic isn't a race, because actually Hispanic can be a lot of different races, but unfortunately, that's just the data I have, so I can't do anything about that. So, anyway, some notable African NHL players are PK Subban, Wayne Simmons, and Dustin Byfuglien. And some notable Hispanic players are Austin Matthews and Max Pacioretty. Okay, I know I totally butchered those names, but I do watch the NHL, but not that much, so I don't really know all the players. I just watch it every once in a while. So, yes, I'm sorry that I offended all the NHL players already, but yeah, sorry, there's nothing really I can do. Okay, and now moving on to ethnicity. So, there are no official statistics on ethnicity in the NHL, but based on my research, and the ethnic groups in each country where the players come from, I've been able to calculate roughly the percentage of each ethnic group in the NHL. So this isn't a definite list, but it's pretty close. So 16.2%, these are all rough estimates. 16.2% of NHL players are ethnically English, 15.9% are French, 11% are Swedish, 10.8% are German, 9.7% are Irish, 7.6% are Scottish, 4.8% are Russian, 4.4% are Finnish, 4% are Italian, 3.7% are Czech, 2.5% are Polish, 1.9% are Dutch, and 1.8% are Ukrainian. And then there are also a bunch of other smaller ethnic groups, but can't name them all. But yeah, those are the main ethnic groups. So these are ethnic groups and not necessarily nationality. As for nationality, well, 45.9% are Canadians. So Canadians are pretty much half of all NHL players, but this has reduced considerably since the beginning of the NHL when pretty much all players were Canadians. 27.7% are American, 10.1% are Swedish, 4.4% are Finnish, 4% are Russian, 3.7% are Czech, and 1.4% are Swiss. Anyway, then there are a bunch of other smaller useless nationalities because there pretty much are no other NHL players from other countries, those other countries. And yeah, that's. Oh, and also I will talk about some important players from each of these countries. So, some important Canadian NHL players are Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Carey Price, Jonathan Toews. What a weird name, Jonathan Toews. Anyway, Drew Doughty. So, some American NHL players are Patrick Kane, Phil Kessel, and Joe Pavelski. Some Swedish NHL players are Erik Karlsson, Nicholas Backstrom, Victor Hedman, and my favorite, Rasmus Dahlin. Then some Finnish NHL players are Pekka Rinne, Patrick Laine, and Mikko Koivu. Some Russian NHL players are Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin, and Sergei Bobrovsky. Some Czech NHL players are Jakub Voracek, David Krejci, and David Pastrnak. I know I'm butchering all the names. Some Swiss NHL players are one Swiss NHL player is Roman Josi. One Slovakian is Marian Gaborik. One German is Leon Draisaitl. And one Danish NHL player is Frederick Anderson. Okay, so basically that's it. I've talked about race, ethnicity, and nationality. And so thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't watched part one, watch it. Uh, if you haven't subscribed to the best of hockey, subscribe now. I mean, what are you waiting for? Come on, just do it. Do it! Goodbye.